If you want to play more consistently, your clubs have to help your game. And today I'm going to give you the 5 essential questions that every golfer needs to be asking themselves to make sure your equipment is helping and not hurting your game. I'm going to go through all 14 of my clubs to give you guys some inspiration and kind of my thought process behind why I picked each one. Plus, stick around to the end as I'm going to share my #1 tool that's also going to help you warm up and gain distance every single round. All right, so starting off, we're going to go with our wedges. So right now I have a 54 and a 60-degree wedge in the Titleist Vokey SM9. I've been playing the Vokey wedges for a long time. I think like 20 plus years. So they're very dependable wedges. A huge fan of them. They have different bounces, different grinds, different finishes. They're one of the most popular wedges in golf. They're definitely geared towards a better player. They're not a cavity back, as you can tell. They're usually going to come with pretty stiff, heavy shafts. So they're not going to be for everyone. One of the most important things you need to be asking yourself with wedges are, do I need 3 or 4 wedges? Now, I personally think that if you're a lower handicap player, you should have 4 because you're going to be hitting wedges more often. Since your driving average is probably going to be longer than most, you're going to have more scoring opportunities with the wedges. So you want to make sure to have 4 so that way you can help out with those shorter shots. Now, higher handicappers are going to benefit more from usually having an extra long club. That might be an extra utility club, a wood, or something just a little bit more forgiving than a long iron. So for my irons, I'm playing a combo set of PXGs, the Gen 5. Just got these 0311T in the 7 through gap wedge, and then the 5 and 6 are going to be a little bit more forgiving, and they are the 0311P. So the T is kind of the most advanced. They're the smallest ones, and these ones are going to be just a little bit more forgiving. And what I love about combo sets is that they're just going to give you confidence in those long irons. Even as a +2 handicap, look, I still struggle with long irons. As you guys will see, I have a lot of different clubs in the bag instead of long irons, but these have made a huge difference. Honestly, wish I would have done this so much sooner. So if you hate your 4, 5, or 6 iron, you really should look into a combo set. But if you do get a combo set, make sure your lofts are adjusted, because you don't want to have a huge gap maybe between your 6 and your 7 or your 5 and your 6. So ensure your club fitter has them spaced out equally. But when it comes to irons, the biggest question you want to ask yourself is the lie angle correct? Because if your lie angle is off, it's going to lead to a lot of shots left or right. And if you want to hit it straighter, you want to hit more greens, you want to have more birdie putts, just get your lie angle checked. Even if you don't get new irons, ensure that the lie angle is correct. And the shafts in these ones are going to be the Project X 6.5X. These are 120 grams. They're a little bit heavier than what I was playing, but I really like the stability that they have. And again, a big part of getting the right clubs is your shaft. So make sure you're getting not only the right flex, but the right weight as well, because it can have a big impact on trajectory and total distance. Now, as I mentioned, I really don't like long irons. I never have. I mean, when I was in high school playing a 7 wood, everyone else was trying to hit long irons. I knew it wasn't going to happen. So I think that long irons really should be replaced for 90% of golfers. I mean, you see even the best players in the world using kind of more forgiving ones, just like this one. So this is the Titleist U500. It's a 3 iron, but I believe it's 21 degrees is where we have it, and my 5 iron's like 24, 25, so I have it perfectly gapped. But the biggest difference here is the shaft. So instead of the 120 gram shaft that the other irons have, this is a hazardous smoke 90 gram shaft, also extra stiff. But even though it's a low launch, low spin shaft, it's great for this club because it still gets it twice as high as a normal long iron, and it's way more forgiving. I just absolutely kill this club. If you hate your long irons, get a heavy graphite shaft like this. It'll make a huge difference, plus a little bit more forgiving head as well. We're getting the next spot. Let me know, do you get custom fit for clubs? Hit the comment box now. All right, next up, we got the Torrey Pines head cover, one of my favorite courses of all time. And we got the PXG 0311. This is a 2 hybrid at 17 degrees. I have it up to 18 just because I wanted to gap it right with the 3 iron and the 3 wood, because this thing actually was going too far. But the biggest difference here is the 480 graphite design 85 gram extra stiff shaft. So this one's going to go a little bit higher than some of the other shafts, which I did need. Previously, one of the biggest mistakes that I made with my shafts in the hybrids was playing ones that were a little too low. This one gave me a little bit more height, which is obviously going to make it easier to attack those long par 5s in 2. So the third question to ask yourself is, are your long clubs helping your game, or are you playing ones that maybe aren't as forgiving as you need? I am not afraid to play more forgiving clubs. This hybrid, this driving iron has made a huge difference. So make sure your long clubs are inspiring confidence with different shafts, bigger club heads, and having a driving iron and a hybrid has been great for me. But again, find what works for you. That might be a hybrid and a fairway wood. That might be a couple of these and some more fairway woods. But again, make sure your long clubs inspire confidence. So when we got the 3-wood, this is my favorite. Great head cover here from the Arizona Amateur last year at, where was that? Desert Mountain Outlaw course. Unbelievable course if you guys haven't played. This is the Paradigm 3-wood triple diamond. I have it set at 15, neutral, standard, everything's basic there. I do have a little bit lighter shaft. My previous one was 80 grams. This is 70 grams, hazardous. Again, extra stiff. Love this club. I think that it's made a huge difference. One of the biggest mistakes I made last year and the year before was playing shafts that were a little too heavy. They were 80 grams. Didn't feel like I made good contact. Plus, this Callaway is a big difference from the other ones because you can adjust the hosel. So I highly recommend finding clubs with adjustable hosels like this. It's gonna make golf so much easier when you can change the weights, when you can change the hosels. You can literally customize it to your game. The fourth question you wanna be asking yourself is, are your wood and hybrid shafts the right ones for your ideal launch angle? So for example, I swing pretty fast, so I need a lower launch, lower spin like this shaft. But if I had a mid-spin, mid-launch, it would be terrible for my game. I would lose distance, I would lose accuracy, but depending on your swing speed, that is exactly what you might need. So yes, having the right flex is important, but do not forget about the weight of your clubs as well. Don't be afraid to experiment with maybe a 60, 70, or 80 grams just to see what's gonna be right for you. Plus, don't be afraid to play different types of shafts in each club based on your ideal launch conditions. All right, next up, we got the Callaway. I need a new head cover. I'm gonna get a wicked smart one made. So we got the Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond. So I got this before I got the 3-wood, but I love the Paradigm so much, I had to get the 3-wood as well. I'm playing the Callaway woods for like 4 different years now. I had the Epic, I had the Maverick, I had the Rogue ST Max last year, which I really never thought I would replace. I loved it so much, but this Paradigm's even better. I got the Triple Diamond model again, low launch, low spin, 9 degrees, everything's neutral standard. I've been playing this hazardous graphite smoke shaft for 4 years. I've been fit for all kinds of different ones. The last couple months, I think I got fit for a graphite design. I tried it out, but it's like so negligible. It's like a couple of yards. I might try it again in the future, but this one's a little heavier. This is 70 grams. I've experimented actually with some 60 gram shafts lately. This is the same one that's in my 3-wood, but I'm actually finding that it's just not quite as accurate. So I have a few big tournaments coming up that I really want to make sure my driver's dialed in for. So I'll probably stick with this. But again, make sure you're trying out different weights and different shaft types, because some of these, like this one's gonna be super low launch, while other ones are gonna be higher launch. So if you're swinging it faster, if you're swinging more than 100, 110 miles an hour, you're probably gonna need not only extra stiff, but maybe a heavier shaft. But again, try out different ones. If you could get fit for 2 clubs in your bag, I would say it'd be your driver and your putter. With your driver, you're probably gonna use it 12, 13, 14 times, and your putter probably 18 times around. So you wanna make sure those 2 clubs inspire a ton of confidence. And the final club in the bag is going to be another PXG. I got the One and Done. This actually kind of gives me some old school vibes of the Odyssey 2-ball. I believe it was the DFX, it was a black one, but love this club. Really cool shaft, part steel, part graphite. Now what's great about these, they have interchangeable weights, so you can kind of add a little bit more if you tend to not close the heel or not close the toe enough. It's gonna help. And I love this putter just because it's super heavy and it really feels like it does the work for me. So that's something for me, again, totally personal. Some people like lighter putters. I like heavier mallet ones like this. I haven't played a blade putter since probably 20 years ago, so I've always used some sort of 2-ball or mallet just because I feel like it gives me the most confidence. The 5th question you want to be asking yourself with your equipment is about your putter. Is it the right length? One of the biggest mistakes most golfers make is playing a putter that is too long. Most people just go out there and they buy a 35-inch putter. They think it's going to be right. This is, I believe, 34, maybe 34 and a quarter. And it just makes such a big difference in getting my eye position correctly over the golf ball. Club fitters found that most golfers are using putters that are too long for them. And when they do, it really just impacts their ability to get their eyes over the golf ball, which again is going to kind of throw up your alignment and or it might affect your stroke. So make sure that you are trying out different putter lengths to see how it impacts your roll. If you're shorter than the average male, you might need a 33-inch putter. If you're a little bit taller, you might need a little bit longer. You might need 35, 35 and a half. And your arm length can also play a big role. So again, make sure to do some research. Don't just buy something off the rack and hope for the best. You're gonna be using this club pretty much every hole for the rest of your life, every time you tee it up. So ensure that it is right for you. I also recommend looking for one that has plenty of built-in alignment. I really like having this one because it's just super easy to line it up and I just feel like it's going to give me a lot more confidence standing over the golf ball. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned I have a secret tool that I think every golfer can really benefit from, and that is some sort of speed training system. Now, this is the Stack. I'll probably do a different video about this, but similar programs are Super Speed Golf or Ripstick. But having some sort of weighted speed stick like this can absolutely help you hit bombs because, one, you're going to be increasing speed, and the faster you swing the golf club, the farther you're going to hit it. But I also love this thing to use in warm-up. So when I'm warming up, before even hitting golf balls, I'll swing this thing fully weighted 7-8 times, not super fast. Then I'll take it off, hit some wedges, hit some short irons, and then I will take it down to, I think, just one of the weights, about 100 grams. Then I will swing it more and more as I get to the driver. So I'll probably swing this thing 15 to 20 times before the round, and it gets me loosened up, and it gets me really firing and getting enough speed early on in the round. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're really stiff and not swinging fast until the back nine, and then all of a sudden you lost the first 9 holes. So again, have some sort of weighted stick like this in your bag. It's going to be a great way to warm up, and it's going to help you play wicked smart golf. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick what's in the bag. And again, these 5 questions are what you need to be asking yourself if you want to play wicked smart golf and get the most out of your game.